And we are. Howdy, folks. Welcome to another day in the Milky Way. By gosh, we did it right this time. And I tell you, we're on. We're good to go. Life is great. I tell you. So tonight, we're running a little bit of hiccup. Omi's supposed to come on. I'm giving her 5 more minutes or so, and she's coming. I've sent out every message I possibly can, and I know y'all want to hear from her because, you know, she's got good stuff. But tonight, we got Lucky Stone on, who's going to be my co-host, the co-host with the most. Right. Hey, you got a Leak Project hat.
Yes, yes.
So awesome.
I've got a couple. I've actually got 3, I think.
All right. Which ones do you got? They got the gold one, and then there's the other one, and then there's the blackish one too, I think it was.
I got a black one somewhere around. I think I hid it for myself so I wouldn't wear it. I have a silver one, which I wore that thing to so much. It looks terrible. This is my gold one, which I barely wear, but I said, I want to wear my Leak hat to help with the light.
Nice. That is great. I want to get me one of those too, but they're a little costly, but they got the protective thing for the EMF stuff.
Yeah, they got this copper, and I don't know what it is. I used to know.
Yeah. The tinfoil hat club. It's awesome, man.
Yes,
it's awesome. Lucky man.
Well, anyway. I've had it for several years. When I came into some money, and boom, and it was frivolous. You got to pay money to make money, sort of thing. You know, you want to manifest more, you have to use.
Absolutely. And I'm displaying my Anaconda shirt tonight.
Oh, beautiful!
Thank you, Nina. This is a Nina thing, and we're all going to get shirts, and we're going to have a shirt club party. In May sometime, I think it is, end of May, beginning of June, somewhere in there. I haven't worked it out with Nina, but she says I could kind of plan it, and we might have it here or on her channel, maybe both. I don't know, go here to there. I don't know, but we're gonna do a Anaconda shirt. So get yours, and we'll be doing fine. Oh my gosh, we got lots of people coming in tonight, and I want to say hi to everybody. While we're waiting, we got David Castles in the house, of course, and he might be on here just in a few more minutes. We got Elderberry is in the house, and Dark Truth. Hey, Dark Truth, thanks for coming. I tell you, she's so sweet. Deborah Truax is in the house. Deborah, I haven't seen you around much, but thank you for coming. We got Susie Q in the house. We got Delaney Pearl Jones. Hello. We got Max Vision, Remote View Vision. Max Vision is going to be on next week. So tune in. That is going to be a great show. He's going to teach us all about the remote viewing, and how it's done, maybe why it's done. He's going to give us all the inside scoop, and who knows what else we'll talk about, because he knows he knows a lot of stuff. So we're going to pick his brain and find out, and all that good stuff. So tune in next week. Max will be on. We got Milky's mom in the house, Brenda, how you doing? Thanks for coming. I'm glad you could make it. Who else is in? 7P is in the house. Hey, how you doing? Glad you could make it. I don't say hi to you enough, because sometimes I don't see you except when I'm in the chat, and then I do. We got Pamela Jean is in the house, and we got Teresa D'Anton is in the house. Thank you, and thank you for sharing this out. I appreciate it so much, because guess what? I was out hiking today in the Badlands. Well, kind of sort of hiking a little bit, but I had the dogs. I was out there doing my thing, and I took a lot of pictures of the buffalo and pictures of the wild horses and the prairie dogs and the mountains and the scenery. And I'm going to put it in a video and have it all for maybe this week sometime. Put it that way. It's never. And Mandy Moo's in the house. Mandy Moo is off on some road trip, because she was going to, I don't even remember where it was. Wannabe or Wampabee, or I don't know, some Australian city. So Mandy put that in the in the comments so I remember what kind of crazy city that was. That was an awesome place to be. And last but not least, we got Scotty Boy in the house. Scotty Boy, how you doing? And Doug Stack has showed up. Doug, you still got to get you on. So anyway, I guess we got Jill Jared showed up. Yeah, she showed Robert. Yes, okay. Well, I think I've covered everybody, and I'm sure. Michelle Can-Am Free showed up too, and Annie Allen. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you more than you can expect, and this show wouldn't be worth having if I didn't have all of yous out there to support me, and not financially, but support me mentally and physically, and send me love and healing power to keep going and doing this and keep away the YouTube whatever the things that kind of bug the system anyway. But I appreciate you all. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for the emails. Yes, Doug, I did get your email. Sorry I didn't get back to you, but this week, we're going to do it this week when you get on, or either that or a Sunday. So there you go. I will return your email right after the show, because I'm that kind of guy that will get back to you after the show, because I've been out busy all day. And guess who else we got joining us? We got David Castle. Thank you, David.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Yes, we need a balancing act. Remember, this is Brian's continuation on Saturday night of the Trinity of Truth. So technically, we are a Trinity of Truth on Saturday, started by Brian. That was Saturday for him, was the Trinity of the Truth, if you all don't remember. And he I don't know if he ever really named it, but that's what he always called it. And it was like a balancing act. And I kind of keep trying to stick to that, because it was it's a good thing, to have a round robin or round table discussion versus a one-on-one. I can do a one-on-one all week long, but to just have this big group discussion on a Saturday after we've all worked all week and had our experiences, to come together on a Saturday night when everybody's out partying and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. We're going to learn something and spread the knowledge and be with our friends who are just like us.
Sounds like a play to me.
Absolutely.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
That's right. You can never go bad with a good time. So tonight, Lucky, we got so many questions. You've been such a philosopher all week. You've had so many shows on truth, finding what's going on, things like that, which is really great, because and the trains. I gotta say, I love the trains.
The trains were just something I threw up just because they were popular with the shorts, but they weren't so popular anymore. It's okay. Yeah. It's soothing. Honestly, I find the train soothing, and happen to be there when they come by. So I said, I'll start taping or videotaping. I was like, I'll just do it on Tuesday,
Yeah.
Break up, because honestly, my channel is just for me to have a little bit of fun. Just put up whatever's on my head, and then, the train was just part of it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe you'll find a really interesting train. I like who doesn't like the old steam trains? There used to be
absolutely
a steam train museum or something down where I used to live, and I got to ride on the train one day, and it's really slow. I always thought it would go faster, but it was like I mean, it barely moved. I'm like, no wonder why the horse and buggy. It's like the only difference between the train and the horse and buggy was my horse would get tired, and that train would probably go all day long.
Yep.
So anyway, now that we got everything out of the way, we got Cajun Queen just decided to show up. Thank you, Cajun Queen, for coming. And well, I don't think she just decided to show up, but she's there. We love
Lois.
You. Lois is awesome. We got to have Lois on here one of these days. And I know she has a thing with the food pantry. And I know a lot of you people out there have donated, and some of you can't donate. You don't have the money, and that's all right too. Well, just, send her good wishes and support her that way. And if you can send money, send some money and help her support that food pantry. And if you can't, or other things you could do, get a couple cans of food and give it to your own food pantry. Because I know that in your own neighborhood, there's probably people who are needy, and do what you can for your own surrounding neighborhood, your own neighbors, things like that, because things are going to get bad to worse or worse to bad. I don't know exactly what's going to come about it, but whatever happens, and if you're doing good, support somebody else. And if you're doing bad, I'm sure you're going to appreciate somebody supporting you. And it's like that. Like you know, if you come into, you know, give away, and then more will come to receive it and replenish what you got. But if you keep it all so tightly wrapped, you won't get any more. It's just the way the world works. I don't know how to explain it, but you know, when you have and you don't give, nothing comes in, and you never seem to grow. But if you give away, more comes in. And that goes not only for your money and your things, but with knowledge and love and all those other things that we all talk about all the time. Lucky, and that's a good question for you. Throughout your findings and your philosophy here, speak on that a little bit about the giving and taking, and is that true? And I know you communicate a little bit there with is that always true throughout?
Oh, that's a good question. I only know from my own personal experiences that when you truly give from the heart without expecting anything back, it does come back to you. It does come back to you. It takes time, but unfortunately, there's always a mindset as I give so much, it never comes back, because you have that mindset. You're looking for it to come back to you. You're looking for the return.
Yeah.
And that's one of the problems, is you have to just let it go without expectations. And it just comes back to you. And when you're not paying attention, that's when it comes back to you. That's when the biggest surprises and the biggest benefits come to me, when I didn't expect it. But when I said, oh, you know, I'm trying so hard, I'm giving so much, and it just seems like everyone just takes and takes. And that's one of the best things about Boston, is you know, be of service to others. There's a balancing act where you're servicing others, you're helping them with your own, you try to benefit others. But there's also the time when you have to take heed and pay attention, because some people will take advantage of you. And, you know, there's a point where you have to stop servicing those and keep allowing them to take advantage of you. And there are others who could use the same help, who will appreciate it. You know, if someone's going to appreciate it, you're fine. You know, it's not that you want the return. It's just that you know that they're going to use it. One of the biggest things, I used to do card readings for people.
Yes.
And when I used to do free, because I in the beginning, I hated, you know, the idea is that, well, it's God's gift and stuff like that. But the people I gave card readings for nothing, they never heeded my warnings. It was the same readings over and over again, and they never listened. But when I started charging $1, or it was a trade or something, especially people with other psychic people, where it was artists who just draw a little bit for me, or something small. And one thing, I was actually asking for like a coin. Give me a quarter. I do a reading for you. I'll charge you a quarter. I'll charge you a couple bucks, a beer, whatever it was. And they tended to appreciate the reading more than others. So it's when you give a service to others, but only those who appreciate it, not forget the return, but for them to actually pick it up and carry the load, sort of thing, for themselves.
Yeah.
That's just goes through my head like that, you know.
So you're you know, even, but, and you're talking about your own personal experience, but that's all any of us can ever relate to. Why is this doing that? Is our own personal experience. You can't really say, you know, so, and that's what it's always about. It's always your world, and then how it affects you, that you can tell others that I had this experience. And then that's my thing. It might be different for everybody else. David, did you have you give, I know you take care of your parents, is it?
Yes, right now, parents and my great aunt.
And your great aunt, yes. So you're giving of yourself all the time.
Absolutely. And a couple years ago, well, about a year and a half ago, I was on Twitter, and someone had seen one of the videos that I was in, and he asked if I could possibly help them. And so I was sending money to South Africa and helping a group of people there. And probably about maybe a month, maybe a little bit less, I got a check from my insurance company where they'd said I overpaid for the year. I got $78 back there. And then a little bit later, I got another check from a credit card company, said something about the interest had gone down, and I started getting, paid back.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I was helping other people out.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. When you give without, or like you said, that you did the card reading, you got to get something. When you give something, get something that way. But it's not always the same. But it's always when you give without expectation.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And I do that too. I'll give, and I don't expect to get back, but sometimes it comes back to me, and it doesn't have to. People think, oh, if I give $1 today, or if I help somebody today, tomorrow somebody's going to show up on my doorstep and help me out. It doesn't really work that way. It might be the day when you break down on the road, and you go, oh crap, what happened? And somebody shows up and says, hey, you need a ride? And you go, wow, that you couldn't have timed that better. Now, was that coincidence, or was that the karma coming back? The favor.
And the food pantries are really, really great idea to give that Lois runs or works with, because you're not just helping one person out, you're helping a group of people out.
Absolutely. And like I said, if you can't give the Lois's, and you have a little extra food on your shelf, donate a little bit. I mean, what's or buy a couple, one of them things of corn or beans or something healthy anyway. Don't get, don't go buy licorice and give that to the food pantry. I'm sure their kids are going to like it, but give them real food. I'm sure there's things to give that would be good, and that will help everybody out.
Well, I find the local food pantry, if I make a phone call and say, hey, what can you guys use? Because they usually have a stockpile of cans, but the fresh fruit, fresh vegetables and pasta and stuff like that, they tend to be low on sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these kids, they need fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. And sometimes they get a lot of it and they have to give it up quickly. Other times they don't have any. And it's good just to make a phone call and say, hey, can you use anything? Can I bring something to them? A lot of times giving money is easy. They can get discounts on money. They can get food if they need to buy it for themselves. But sometimes it helps just to bring what they might need for now.
Yes. And see, that's another thing. And one thing I've learned from one person in our group here, and you all know her, Michelle Can-Am Free. She probably can't afford a lot. She takes care of her young kid. And the thing is what does she give to everybody? Does anybody know? We need hands here.
Yeah. She inspires everybody. She inspires everybody. She shows everybody love. And sometimes, that's all you have to do.
That is right. She is always inspiring, and she's always saying, I love you. I care about you all. And she's made some wonderful videos on love. And it is inspiring, and that inspires me and inspires others. And she I always say she's the love girl, because she's always love you all, love, and she's in there in the chat room tonight. So express some love to her, and let's return the favor, as she does to us every time she joins us. So there you go. Love you, Michelle. Thank you for coming, and right back at you. Bye, gosh. So there she is. She's doing it again. Anyway, so like I said, see how good that makes you feel. Look at the smile on my face. David, see, you're smiling too. And Lucky, you're smiling. You got your beard there. You can't see it much, but I see you smile. So anyway, that's all good. So other things, what's, like I said, what's here is there. What can is there anything you can tell us about that? Does that affect us? You know a little bit more about the other side there. Can you tell us if that affects us? If we're good over here, does that carry over? Have you noticed that by your experience?
That's a tough one because you get what you expect. That's one of the problems, that when you die, you pass over, what you expect to see, what you expect to get, you see it. You run into that. That's a hard concept to grasp. If you believe in the heaven and hell of Catholicism and you didn't think you did the right stuff, you'll be confronted with everything you did. And the funny thing is that you can never lie to yourself. So you think you tell everyone you're a great person. You have all these examples of what a great person you are. But when you pass over, you're dead, you're in the room to be judged, and the judger is yourself. And the hell is the torture that you give yourself. And that's one of the problems. In the heaven, honestly, you feel, okay, I've done the right thing, and I've reviewed my own life, talked to myself about this, and realized, okay, I have done the right thing. And even though I beat myself up every day while being alive, after I die, and that's one of the problems that recently I ran into, an individual who was just a mess. And after he died, what happened was he was confronted with his own demons, and he was fighting it, and he's still there now. And I don't know what to do with him, but I'm just leaving him as a place, because sometimes you have to let them burn off whatever that energy they had in life that they need to pass on, and once they get to that point, then they can cross over and go to the heaven that they hopefully want to be at.
So basically, when that saying is that you make your own demons, that's literally the truth.
Yes, every demon is created by somebody. Demons don't exist until we create them. It's individually or as a group. I have run into demons, but they've left me alone, because I know that the one thing about demons is they hate compassion. Because love has so many meanings, compassion has one. So if you're compassionate to something, even a demon, they like, wait a second, I survive a fear and anger and hate and sadness. You give it compassion. Compassion I can't take that, and it goes away and leaves you alone.
Really?
That's one of the things about demons, is they just do not like the shadow beings. I've run into shadow beings, and they don't like compassion either. Although what a shadow being is now a definition, because people will see a shadow figure and they go, that's a shadow man, that's a shadow being. And then they go from there. And I know what an actual shadow is, the guy with the hat and the shadow being. And they tend to came against spooky, the Men in Black kind of persona. I've dealt with them occasionally, but again, they kind of avoid me, because one of my guardians said, no, just show him love. Just send him as much love as you possibly can. Don't show him fear. If you say fear, he's going to come closer. You show him love, he's going to leave you alone. Okay, I tried to get a little bit, and then he would just leave me alone. So it's hard to express to people that the demons and the shadow people and all the negative entities, they don't like love. They don't like compassion. And it's easy. Unfortunately, sometimes it's easy to be fearful, but it's also being easy to be, loving to others too. So it's the dichotomy in life. And the funny thing is that the energy of love and the energy of fear are two separate things, which I never got the concept of for a long time. They can exist at the same time in the same person. You can have fear and still have compassion, but you got to push more of your energy into the compassionate side, because compassion will not take fear away, but the things that feed off fear will not like being being given compassion. It's a very complicated subject that I've been trying to get my mind around for a long time.
Well, I had Aaron Worley on the other day, and that was a really fantastic interview.
Yes, very formative. Yes, definitely. Yes, I watched that twice already, and I'm still. I gotta take notes.
I know she is really great, and I think that what we talk about here is kind of the same stuff that she's talking about there too. It's just that, she's got this thing, and I really enjoy it. I can't wait till she comes out with a new book, and I'm on the edge of joining that class that she has. I don't know. I'm trying to debate if I got enough time to join that class and take it, because I'm really interested in it. And she does have a payment plan, so it's not like you got to dish out the whole chunk of money. You can break it down a little bit. So if you can afford it, maybe it's something to try, because I think I'm going to do that. I'm really leaning that way.
Yeah, that's one of the problems that I have, is that there are so many things I want to do, and I'm just so busy. And a lot of times, the me time that I have to take it. All I want to do so many things. I want to do all these ideas and all these things, but you have to take time for yourself. You have to take at least an hour a day of meditation, or just being with yourself and allowing yourself to taking care of yourself. A lot of us don't do that. We're so busy helping others, and we think that our needs will be met at some point. Well, we have to meet our own needs, because we're our own best friend. We're the only person who knows exactly what we need when we pay attention to ourselves.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't think it's so busy that we're helping others, because I don't want to put people down. It's the fact that we're working for others, and then when we're not working for others, we think, and this is the thing, we're so busy, but instead we're doing other stuff that is like wasting time. Like, I sat down and I watched the football game, and I played some video games. Well, I'll tell you what's more important, playing it. What did you learn out of that video game? And what did you learn if you took that time and meditated a little bit, or read a book, or looked up some information on how to live, or something? You see what I'm saying? No.
The time wasters, the TV. I gave up TV a long time ago, but then I filled it in with YouTube videos and Facebook.
Yeah,
I don't need that. I don't, and Facebook especially. If the information on Facebook is no longer unbiased, it's just information, free full of information. It's just not there anymore. And even YouTube is being shadow banning people. And I've actually found people that I did not unsubscribe to, that I didn't see their videos, and I went in, I looked, and I said, I'm not subscribed to them anymore. How is this possible? It's crazy. It's just, why is this happening? I mean, I don't, there can't be evil people like this. I mean, I don't think YouTube and Facebook are run by evil people. I think it's just they're run by greedy people, and evil just happens to feed the greed. I honestly don't know. I don't think it should be like this. I don't think it's possible, but it's happening.
It definitely is. And I think all of us can see it. David?
I believe that everything that you come in contact every day is an energy exchange. It could be a positive energy exchange, or maybe you stump your toe on the table and it's a negative energy exchange. But love, compassion, joy, happiness are all light emotions, and they make you feel light. And anytime you've got anger, fear, hate in your heart, that makes you feel heavy. Your energies, it's a heavy energy. So the more positive energy exchanges you can have a day, which is what I try to do. If I have to talk to somebody, I try to, say hello, or I have a smile on my face, or help a lady carry groceries. The other day, I helped two ladies carry garbage up to their, from their apartment. I was visiting one of my friends, and they were walking. I'll get that for you. And just make as much as you can a positive energy exchange. It's good for your health. You feel good when you do that, and it's not heavy. It's not causing any blockages in your system.
You're right. You're 100% right. It's every situation you can take it positive or negatively. And honestly, it's yes. I've been at the grocery store, and I've seen the cashier, and I've talked to them and thanked them, and and just had a nice conversation, because they were just so nice to me afterwards. And I'm like, talk to a friend of mine. They go, why did they like that? And they go, they must have been having a terrible day, and that's what's happening. The mask thing is, people are just so dour, so down. But just being nice to them a little bit, even smiling under the mask, and just dealing with the situation and being pleasant to them, it brings up someone's day and might help them, get to the rest of their shift.
And as you were saying about the social media thing, I think they do that on purpose because they want you to feed your negative energy into whatever's going on there. And if you give them that negative energy, they've accomplished, they've divided and conquered, because some people believe what they say, some people don't. And it's always been about divide and conquer. Let's face it.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And they make people mad too. It's like, I can see it. They're literally creating divides by blocking some and then promoting others. And even though there might be all these people with just imagine you got, 10,000 positive things, and you got 1,000 non-positive things, but they eliminate these so they're kind of even. And then you think, wow, there's a lot of people out there with the negative view, and there's only this many people with the positive view. It looks kind of equal in your eyes then, when in reality it's not.
You're right. I mean, the other day I was at the parking lot, and I had left I have a little parking light thing on my steering wheel, and I hit it, didn't know it, and my battery was dead. And I was so embarrassed. And so I walked up to a couple of people, and they happened to be African American, and I just, hey, please, I feel so foolish. Can you jump my car? And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. They come over, and then they go to jump my car, and my car was just not getting the charge. And it's the weirdest thing. And my car the battery should not have been from leaving the parking lights on. It's just one of those weird things. And I'm so embarrassed. I'm trying to just, start it. It's not working. And it's like flooding. And they go, hey, don't worry. Let's take a few minutes. And we start talking and having a nice conversation. And it was and that's what the whole thing was about. I could have been, just called AAA. I could have called anyone. Honestly, I have the option. But rather I talked to somebody. I talked to a couple of people who were, might have seemed, different than me, but I walked over and just, asked for some help, got some help, spent some time talking to them as my stupid battery was charging. And, we had a nice, great conversation, nothing about race. It was all just a nice conversation. We're just people from different parts of the world, the city, who knows? But it turned something that was terribly negative to me. And I could have just had simply made a phone call and, waited the hour. But I said, I walked over some people, had a nice conversation, had my car jumped. And basically after about 5 minutes of having a nice conversation, they said, you want to try it now? I'm like, yes. And then boom, car started, no problem at all. We undid everything. And it was just, it really, and I thanked them so much, and asked them, give them some bucks. They go, no, this still, they're fine. No, nothing. And then they went on their way. But it's all about how every situation has a, point of being positive or being negative. It's all your choice, but also the positive choice you make can, just because it might be, just negative, could have been terrible negative, but my choice of asking someone for help could have brought their day, something could be happening. They could have had bad experience, but I might have been able to turn it around, which I swear my battery should not have been dead. It shouldn't have charged pretty easily. Honestly, it was just the weirdest thing where source, God, made my battery dead so I could talk to a couple of people for 5 minutes.
And, and that's so true. Because if you look at that, it's like, did it change something in their life that would avoid something, because nothing happens. Like they said, there are no coincidences. And,
yes.
Like you were saying once about reading the cards or something and telling people stuff that I'm just going to make something up here. You could say, hey, should I get this new job? Well, you need to, take a train ride or something. You have to do this. And then, and that ends up being a bad idea, which ends up with a new job somewhere else that's even better than the one they wanted, but they have to go out of their way to go to this way. You know what I mean? Like you're saying, and you says, oh, well, that doesn't seem right. Why can't they just go in that straight line? But nothing works in a straight line like that. Sometimes
there are times when the cards would show some negative stuff, and it was much easier to put the positive side of things. And then you ask for clarity, and it's just a negative. You have to give them the negative message because you don't want to give people bad news. So sometimes you want to cushion it. You want to make it nicer, but they won't learn the lesson to improve their life. They won't get, the carrot at the end of the stick. They'll just get the stick, because they're just going to keep failing. So you got to give them the bad news so they can get the good news at the other end of things. Yeah,
it'd be like giving the news to a nice lady, and she says, I want to meet a nice guy. And you say, well, get in your car and, run into that light pole over there. You'll get in an accident. You'll meet a really nice doctor, and you guys are going to hook up and get married. They'd be like, are you kidding me? I mean, that's what I would say if you told me that. I'd be like, no, I'm not going to do that. But why don't you just send me to the doctor and I'll just hook up there? Because, well, it just doesn't work that way. The doctor's he's going to look at you and go, are you some kind of kook?
A lot of times we learn best by failure and by just drama in our life. You learn success never teaches us anything, but we learn best by failure and struggling. And it's the weirdest thing. It's in my own life. It's true. Everyone I've ever known is sometimes the best lessons come from failure, because you learn what didn't work and you learn what kind of worked. You kind of model things and improve your life that way. If it's successful, you just keep doing the same old, middle ground kind of thing. You don't really strive for anything.
Yes. David, if you strive or you struggle, or do you looking for that success? You're like a test subject here,
Well, most of my life, I always strive to underachieve so I wouldn't disappoint anybody. So, but now it's different. Now I actually, I show up and I put the energy into it. Well, I try to create that frequency that Lucky Stone was just talking about. When those people helped him, it made them happy, it made him happy, and it released a frequency. There was a frequency in that whole community right then, because people were helping each other and people weren't judging each other, and it was a positive energy exchange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Now, we were talking about, before I get past that, sorry, I got a question here. I think it was Pamela Jean that asked it. And before I get going, Lucky, this is for you.
Oh boy.
And right question, right to you. You were talking about the shadow men. Why do the shadow people come to our bedroom our bedroom or whatever, recently or at night or something like that? Why do the shadow men come to the bedroom? Which is true. I've always heard that the shadow men don't just show up in your kitchen. They always want to show up in your bedroom. Why is that? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, you're most vulnerable. There you don't establish a safety area. Sometimes you just have to do that, to do a mind, in your head. Just you're creating a safe. Honestly, before I go to sleep, I always establish I ground myself to Mother Earth, and I set myself to Source. I become the perfect connection between Source and grounding energy Mother Earth, and then I spread it out, through my whole house. And that's before I go to bed. The thing is, when we're asleep, we're open to all levels, all dimensions when we're asleep. And we can go up, we can go down, we can go anywhere, because human beings are the perfect connection between Source and physicality. Gods and angels, they're all Source beings. And animals and everything around us, it's physical Earth. When we're asleep, we're at our weakest. We can manifest, we can create anything, but a lot of us don't know that, so we're weak. And then they come to us when we're at our most vulnerable to get the most fear from us. Shadow people tend to prey on the stronger spiritual people, the ones that they can get the most fear from, and the most spiritual will charge them, will energize them a lot more than normal everyday people who are just, constantly watching TV and every day sucking into the fear porn. Those people are not as tasty as us people who tune, even if the people don't even know that they're tuned to the psychic abilities. If you're tuned to psychic abilities and you're not blocking protecting yourself, if you don't even know that you have the ability to just project source energy, at least 100 meters from you in all directions. If you don't even know that, they'll come and they'll scare you and they'll get as much fear from you as they can.
Wow. So you know what? When you were talking about source and everything, I've been really working on something like, everything is like everything else. And when people try to, I'm finding out this is more truth than anything, is that everything is like something like other things. So you can't have, one thing and then say it's not going to match up, because everything works the same. Everything is like in this pyramid scheme. In government, you have the president, everybody works down from him. In your family, you have the father and everybody works down from him. If you have the church, you got the priest or the pope and everybody works down from him. It's always that pyramid scheme. In the spiritual realm, you got the source and everything works down from them, right? Or him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and somewhere in the middle, you are in the middle. And then this is what I come up with. If that makes any sense at all. Have you seen that symbol before?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, do you see that, Lucky?
No, I don't. I'm gonna.
Is that I?
That's the I thing, and I'm like, source is at the top. We are in the center. We're the I, because we can see, and then everything is, and then like you said, we spread out and to the ground, right? So source covers us and everything. It's kind of weird, but that's what I had in
agree with you. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. But recently, even on the news, they were saying that the Postal Service was even spying on people. So the I could be the corporations who run the president, and then the I would be, I guess, all the surveillance systems they've got going right now.
Yeah, I mean,
to make sure that you behave.
Yeah, exactly. So every system is always structured basically the same. And I says, man, that's kind of the way it always works. Even our solar system, you got the galaxy. You ever see the picture of the galaxy? It's got this little real bright center, and then everything else spreads out around it. And then like our solar system, you got the sun in the center and all the planets around it. And then even in our Earth, you got the Earth, and then the moon revolves around it. So it's all like stuff. It's all built the same. And if I'm wrong, send me an email and explain it to me, somebody. And we'll talk about it.
Fibonacci, what is it? Fibonacci spiral or something like that. It's like everything.
Something like that.
The Fibonacci sequence. Yeah.
I'm from Kentucky.
No, it's amazing.
So
life is amazing. The coincidences and how things fit together like puzzle pieces. It's just amazing.
So back to the amazing part. Now, you were talking about when we go to sleep, we can go anywhere, right? But that's because our brain switches from alpha to beta, I'm thinking, right? I know when we sleep, the brain switches. I can't remember. It's beta, alpha.
There's alpha, there's beta, there's theta.
Theta, okay.
There's delta, there's theta, yeah. Theta is where you can do anything. That's the dream state. That's when you can manifest anything. You can create any world you want but you have to seize the control. The problem with dreams is that you have to realize, wait a second, this is my dream. I'm in control of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's not everyone who can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't do it all the time either. Sometimes I'm in dreams and I'm following the nuttiness of my crazy brain, which I wouldn't want anyone to be in sometimes.
And if you're having these bad dreams and nightmares, you should quit whatever you're doing. If you're watching TV before you go to bed, try listening to music. Try to listen to something that you enjoy, that pumps you up. Listen to that music and get yourself in a good vibration right before you go to sleep. And I guarantee you won't have a bad dream.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I have a white noise machine because I used to listen to music or radio the white noise machine, because I got thunderstorm, I got sea, and I've got the campfire, and sometimes thunderstorm. I'm terrified of thunderstorms, but for some reason, listening to Thunderstorm while I go to sleep helps soothe me. I don't even understand that. The rain and then the thunderstorm and whatever.
Well, and that's really good. Now, I know our brain waves work a lot of ways, and I read something about these prophets years ago, or who knows, maybe the prophets now. But anyway, they would go into caves, and if you get so far underground and you stay there for so long, you deprive yourself of the sunlight, which switches on the brain waves from alpha to beta. And I don't know the whole scheme of this, but when you're under there so long, your brain waves switch. That would allow them to literally be awake in their dream state. And then I don't know if that would be the theta state or the beta state, but somewhere in the middle. And that's why they could communicate and write down all these, fancy do job, papers and stuff. And they got all these ideas and communicated, which would be really fascinating to, depending on who you were talking to.
But also they did that with a lot of practice too. That's one of the things is that we don't understand is we think, oh, they went in the caves, they got that and they understood it, and then they wrote all the stuff. They went in the caves and they tried and they wrote this crazy stuff for a while, but they trusted their instinct to know that, okay, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to get this. This is going to work out. And they kept doing it and doing it, and they were teaching others. And the one thing's about when you teach others, you're teaching others from your perspective. And you have to let the person who's learning this stuff to go their own way a little bit. And then, that learning from the cave and being in that state is a lot of work, and it's beautiful work. I'm not I haven't done that, but I've read about it myself.
Yeah.
And it's just one of the things where they continue to do it, and they trusted their instinct and they kept doing it rather than people saying, you're crazy. What the heck is this garbage you're writing? And they go, no, I'm going to get something. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to do it for another couple more days and see what I get.
Yeah. And that's why they became a prophet, because they obviously were, they either got trained in it or they practiced with it or something. And then they ended up with that. But see, it's more than that even, because I've been doing this, the Native American book thing. If everybody hasn't seen, I'm going to do some more of that. Remember the Native American myths? Anyway, the Indians, they did those, what is it? They smoked the wacky weed and they did the other kind of drug stuff. And David, you'd probably know more about that to address that than I would. But
how dare they?
but they did that kind of stuff, and then they came out with visions of the future and things like that. So it wasn't all hoopla, because they kept doing it, just like you said. They must have practiced on it, and that was a medicine man, he did that, and the shamans and the whatevers. But here's the bigger part. After all of that, now this is something for you, David. The deal is, these guys, and you listen to a lot of music, and Wayne has brought this up on his show, is that they discovered these things like LSD and drugs and stuff like that, and they would use the music singers would use that stuff, and they would write these songs that were about future events, past events, and they put it all in music. Can you address the music thing and what you've heard that you went, hey, what were they talking about?
Well, it's a frequency. They get themselves, if they take certain things and they don't get unhappy, most of them are happy. They're with a group of people. They might try something that grows in the ground, and you pull up and they might see things, and it helps them get connected. And when you go into an experience like that, you don't feel fear why anything's going on. You're looking around, you're checking things out, but you don't feel like you're being threatened. And a lot of people have incredible experiences. A lot of people are so scared by their programming. Crime Dog McGruff is going to come over and immediately arrest them and take them away if they do anything that somebody told them that they shouldn't ever do. That's why you should have your own experiences. And if you're not comfortable with it, by all means, don't do it. But I mean, don't let somebody else tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm saying is, as you know, like the prophets were in the caves, they did that thing. Then the Indians were doing their thing, and now we've moved into this, you know, drug thing with other stuff. But it's all seems to be the same experience.
Yeah, it's the same frequency. Like we're on right now, we're on pretty much the same frequency. That's why we found each other and we were right here. And if you don't believe that, try to find a little channel that somebody will, and you'll type it in and you can't find it. And you might have to go 15, 20 pages down to find that channel. I mean, if they don't want you to find it, or if you're not meant to find it, maybe your frequency's not ready to find it, you won't find it.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, things just happen. And sometimes I know I get new people on here all the time go, wow, I'm glad I found this channel. And they can't believe what great. I'm thinking, yeah, because the YouTube sends you things like, hey, if you pay X amount of dollars, you can get 1,000 likes and a 10 or 500 new subscribers, and I'm thinking, I don't want those kind of subscribers. I want subscribers who's actually going to watch my channel and really subscribe. I'm going to want people who are going to give me a thumbs up because I earned it, because they really thought I did a good job.
Yeah. Well, it's all about sharing experiences, and that's the only way we grow is to actually talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you do have to take a mask off to talk to somebody and let them know what your experiences was like. So they might not resonate with it. They might think it's garbage at the present time, but then something might happen later on and they think back, oh my God, that person told me that, something like that. It'll resonate with them later.
Exactly.
Yeah. It'll be, and isn't that like stuck in your subconscious? That's stuck in that subconscious bit of your brain. I mean, I've seen it before where I caught a word or something, and then it's like, I know I seen it, but I can't really place it anywhere. It's there somewhere, but I don't know where.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stuck there. And then one day, bang, holy cow, But that's the way it is. And people, they don't tend to wake up about those things a lot of times, especially nowadays. Their mind is cluttered. And I think on my show with Erin Worley, we talked about that. And what was the first thing she brought up? Hey, don't drink the fluoride. It's in there for a reason. It's clogging. I think it's and she's like, don't drink the fluoride. Very good advice. And of course I said, hey, take some stuff to unclog your pineal gland and your brain and all these things, because it just opens up, a lot more of the world to have your own experience anyway.
Absolutely. True. And the limitations that you have is from the programming that you received. So don't be afraid to question things. They don't want you. That's why the fluoride's there. They don't want you to question anything. They want you to automatically think, well, they're good. They wouldn't do that to their own people. That and when you try to explain to them what it does and what it was in, it automatically, they think they've been fooled, and it hurts their ego, and they'll immediately try to fight back, because nobody wants to admit that the hardest thing you'll ever do is to show somebody that they've been fooled about something. It's not true what they know. Don't let your limitations lock you in your brain prison.
Absolutely. So with all this going on tonight, I got some people in the chat room are saying something about no fluoride. Our water in Vancouver has no fluoride. Thank you, Janessa Franks. Thank you for coming. I know she says she missed some of the show, and I'm glad she's here. And somebody else, 7P says Tom's toothpaste has fluoride, is fluoride free. So
I got Tom's toothpaste.
There you go. Yeah, awesome. So do little things, and people don't realize it, but if you go and get a soda, or if you go and get some iced tea, and you think, oh, I'm drinking that down, guess what? Where was that made? if you buy a bottle of it, you don't think they put fluoride in it, got it from fluoride water? Of course they did. The tea covers up the taste, the soda covers the taste. It's got fluoride in it. They make bread and stuff. You think that they got to put some water in it? It's probably from a city, and they put fluoride in it. You're getting fluoride all the way around. Sure, you didn't drink out of the tap water, but if you take a shower and it's got fluoride in the water, it's getting on your skin and it's going through your skin because your skin just doesn't, get it off of you. You know what I'm saying? Fluoride sinks in, it embeds itself. So you have to do more to really get rid of it. You either have to detoxify yourself, you have to be careful, but every little thing, but like eating, the toothpaste, the mouthwash has fluoride in it. You put it in your mouth and swish it around. You think you're really spitting it all out? Are you kidding me? Yeah. So anyway, that's my word to the wise.
Yes. Yeah. Some cities don't have. My city does not have fluoride in it. It's never had fluoride in it. It's one of the weirdest things that big city doesn't have fluoride in it. But yeah, it doesn't.
Well, that's really good. But that's not saying that you didn't get some other things.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. It's like, where the source of your food did they get their water from? I've never even thought of it that way. You've actually brought something up that I've never considered.
Oh yeah,
which is weird.
Myself, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess that kind of does make sense. Go figure.
Never considered that. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So with our knowledge tonight, we're like you said, you want to ground yourself. You want to, source frequency. You want to get rid of your fluoride. You want to detoxify. You want to do what's right for you. Listen to some music. Get into that vibe, that sound, that the love frequency is what the universe is all made of. And at least that's what I'm thinking so far, right?
No, you're right.
And if you can embrace that and project that, you'll chase away the shadow demons. You will surround yourself in this bubble of love, and your life will get better. You want to give, promote the giving of love, and then with other things you can do, like we learned from Sarah. You want to stretch. Remember our stretches?
God, yes,
stretching. I've been stretching.
I actually incorporated that into one of my, because every day I go to a certain rock that I connect myself with Source and the ground agent of Mother Earth, but I use her stretching exercises to pull down Source and pull up Earth, and and it's actually brought things up to a much logarithmic, much more energy, much more power, much more benefit to me, and I didn't know that, but your show and with her lecture, whatever you want to call it, her presentation really helped me.
Yeah, and I've been doing that too. I've been stretching more. I'm doing the stretching, and then I'm doing the deep breaths, like she said, get lots of oxygen, and then to hold it in and blow it out, and then do the stretch, and it's been working really good. I've been feeling really good about myself, and after I get done, I'm like, I'm all refreshed. And thank you, Sarah, if you're watching. Awesome. Oh, Lucky disappeared on it. Don't worry, I'm sure he'll be back. Something happened there. We ain't worried.
And for every moment that you have love and joy and you're doing something that makes you happy, there's no room to have any kind of hate or fear in your heart, because it's already occupied. There's not any space. So if you can do that, several times a day, you're keeping your heart filled, and like I said, it'll be a lot better for you physically and mentally.
Absolutely. Well, by gosh, this hour has really gone by fast. I can't believe it. We've learned so much, and I swear I'm gonna write a book yet. I do keep a little journal and stuff. I write stuff down and I show you. But anyway, thank you, Lucky, for coming on. David Castle, thank you so much. Lucky, you got any last words for us tonight?
No, just be good to yourself, be good to others, and sometimes the lessons that you learn are just not expected. You realize them days later. Sometimes you brought that up, that someone says something and sometimes it comes to you and like, wait a second, I remember that from a few days ago. Yeah, it's just, life is like that. Source works in weird ways.
Absolutely. David?
Yeah, thank you, Lucky Stone, for being on here again. I appreciate you, brother. And I appreciate you, Robert B. I was hoping to get to come on a show and wear I got my Aries, got a nice Aries sweatshirt for my birthday earlier. So I wanted to be able to wear that and show everybody how pretty it was.
Awesome.
And
that is awesome.
I love you all, and I got my business in, and me and Mandy Mood's going to be making some bismuth pretty soon.
Wow!
Awesome.
Good for you.
That is awesome.
I want to see the results of that. That's going to be pretty darn cool. You have to come on and tell us what's going on with that, because she was telling me all about the bismuth the other day after the show, and it's really interesting. I really didn't have time to look up bismuth, but I did take a bunch of pictures a day of some rocks we were talking about and geological things going on. So, that could be interesting.
I've been waiting a month for my local Christmas or crystal store to get it in, and they hadn't been able to get it in. So I finally broke down and ordered it from somebody else.
Well, there you go. Here, hang on. I'm going to blow it up. So you can show it to everybody.
Get a big piece.
Wow.
Supposed to be 2.2 pounds with this and the other piece. So, did you blow it up?
Yep. There you go. That should work. Everybody see that? That's pretty cool. Well, let us know what's going on with that and everything. And I guess that's it for tonight. Remember, go out and do something nice for people. Be the frequency you want to receive, because when you be that frequency and put that frequency out, you are going to receive that, and you're going to get back what you put out. So it will hold true. And I guarantee that eventually it will come back to you. And thank you all. Go out and do something nice. Appreciate you, Lucky Stone and David Castle, for coming on tonight. So be the frequency you want to receive. Love you all. Peace, everybody.